Okay. Okay, so Hassan, we're back from that brief transition due to the internet. I will go resume back quickly to sharing my screen so that we can get started as soon as possible. Awesome. I believe my screen is back on. Thank you for the patience. Just let me get back to YouTube quickly. So just give us one more minute. I need to go back live because of those who are watching. Oh, awesome. So we are still live on the internet. So that's fine. So then I can resume the share and we can have this started without interruption. Great. So welcome once again to the Bavad VSF program, and I'm glad that everything is now back on. And even though Nigeria happened. We're back on we're back online. So if you are unmuted, I'll say please do mute so that we do not have any interference into the background. So welcome once again to Bavad VSA program, and today we'll be looking into ways in which you can earning dollars while managing operations. A little about me. Okay, good. So a little about me. My name is Florence Idowoluseso, and yes, I'm the founder of the VAT Group LLC. I'm a transformation and talent strategist. So I design execution systems, transformation architecture across different market, across continent, countries, regions, name it. So I do enjoy building structured professional pathway that actually bridge real skill gap, real employment gap, real gap in the labor or in economy. So I work in the intersection of talent systems and growth, and we've created Bavak VSA to answer the gap we found in the markets. To answer the gap we found in the markets. I'm not sure what's going on, but okay, good. Oh, okay. So many white screens to answer the gap that we found in the market. So the VSS certification is being positioned to solve real markets need. So today we'll be talking about how we can get paid in dollars managing revenue operations. So how can you become a rev ops while you're in Africa, while you're in Nigeria, while you're in Kenya or South Africa, wherever you are, but you can still earn internationally. So that's what we are going to be talking about today. And yes, this is going to be a masterclass. You'll be getting a lot of information that you can work with amazingly and you can put into practice. So that's the very first thing I want you to know, please. Sorry, just maybe. Ventura, please do mute yourself. I have muted you. Keep on muting yourself and it's interfering into the conversation. Thank you very much. Okay, so let's get started again. So we'll be looking into just 4 realities of why talented people stay underpaid. I'm very sure that a lot of us on this call, we know our worth. You know, you hear things like, "Oh, I know my worth. I can deliver more. I can do more." Why I might be underpaid, or why am I not finding opportunities, or finding the right opportunities that will actually help me to get more paid, or to actually get paid in dollars while in Nigeria, or why I can work remotely. So there's been a lot of questions around that, and we get to actually solve the problem today. So across the globe, like globally, we hear these same questions coming up, like, "Oh, I'm not earning a lot. Oh, I'm being underpaid." But people do forget that you are being paid according to the way you're being positioned in the market. That's what we call strategic positioning. It depends on how you position yourself in the market. So the question is, how are you positioning yourself in the market? Companies do not pay for effort. So we cannot overemphasize this. Like, companies do not pay for effort. They pay you for positioning. So which is why you being positioned in revenue or in growth areas, it makes you indispensable in the market. So you if we're looking at you selling your time, for instance, you're trading your hours for many, especially in the United States, that people are being paid hourly. So instead of you selling your time, why don't you sell measurable outcome? So instead of you getting to learn the system, why don't you, instead of you just being there, supporting the system, why don't you learn the system? So many of us do not even have revenue literacy. We don't even understand how business grow. And if you don't understand how business grow, you would remain stuck in low earning cycles, in low earning jobs, low earning role. And also there is low global positioning. There is an era of people, getting to join, becoming virtual assistant because they believe that that's the only way they can get to earn in dollars. Well, there is multiple ways. It's not just only being a virtual assistant. It's not only just being a software engineer. If you can attach yourself to a revenue engine of any company, you become indispensable. The lifeline of any business is making profits, is making more money, ensuring that the cash flow is steady, or at least, increasing, or at least steady. And a lot of people also do not know how to help organizations accelerate, like increase and profit. And that's why so many people, talented people, you see people graduate with first class, you see people graduate with 2-1, you see people with excellent results, masters, a lot more, but yet they are still stuck in the low earning cycle, low earning role. But VSA is yet to change this. So what is this session going to talk about today? So in this session, I think the very first thing I need to say is what this session is not about. It's not a quick, get rich quick scheme. It's not MMM. It's not MLM, whatever we want to call it. It's not that today or tomorrow you start earning in dollars. We're going to teach you systems. We're going to teach you ways. We're going to teach you methodology. But they are all proven incredible methodology that is in place that you can then put steadily to grow your income, not only in Naira or your own local currency, but also, in foreign currency like euro, pounds, dollars, and the rest of things like that. Also, it's not a freelance also class. Uh, the Bavard group is very structured and it's very, very I think structured is actually the right word. Very structured, to the sense that the way we position things has levels, as criteria, as a growth structure tied to it. So it's not a freelance, it's not an also class, it's not a come today, come tomorrow, then you're gone. It's also not a random, and also providing random remote work tips. No, we are not. It's also not a motivation without structure. I'm not a motivational speaker or an inspirational speaker. So this session is going to give you a strategic overview of revenue ops. It's also going to help you with positioning for global markets. It's also going to provide you at least a roadmap into international dollar billing. And lastly, we're going to be providing you a framework that you can act immediately on. So let's start. But before we really go into what this webinar is, I want us to just quickly do a quick introduction in the chat session. I want you to tell me your name, where you are joining us from, uh, and what you're looking how to learn today. So in the chat, your name, where you are joining us from, and what you look to learn today, or what you look to gain today. So your name and where you're joining us from. I'll be checking the chat session quickly before we really go straight into the core of today's session. So tell me your name, tell me where you're joining from, your name, where you're joining from, and what you are looking to gain. So let's do that quickly. Tell me your name, where you're joining from, and what you look to gain today. So my name is Florence. I'm joining from Lagos. I look to gain, I need to learn how to make my money. I look to learn how to position myself. I need to learn what's in the market. I need to learn what's out there. So just tell me your name, where you are joining us from, and what you look to gain today. I'll be on the chat looking how to meet you all so that we all get to know ourselves before we proceed. Okay, awesome. So I'm seeing some, I see someone, my name, okay, Tulu Lokpe. Welcome to Lokpe. Thank you for joining us today. I see you want to learn how to earn in dollars. Awesome. Okay, so I also gave you my own introduction, Florence from Lagos. I'm looking to learn how to help you actually get a high paying job. I say Goodness. Goodness is also joining us from Lagos, and she wants to learn ways to earn more. Awesome. It's good to see you. Goodness. It's good to have you, Tolu. I believe that we have more people. I'll also be checking YouTube to ensure that I did not miss anyone from there. Doing that on my iPad, so please just bear with me. Okay, I believe we have more persons on the call. So tell us your name, where you're joining from, and what you look to earn today. Your name and where you're joining from, and what you look to earn today. Victoria, I see you're really exploring Zoom. That's good. I see the annotation. Victoria, you probably want to tell us where you are joining us today. Okay, so as that is coming on, we're going to go straight into the conversation today because of our time. So let's explore what revenue operations is all about. I see that Samuel is joining us from Lagos and he's also looking to earn, looking forward on how to earn in dollars and also how to get a well-paying job. Awesome. We'll be looking into all that today. So let's move fast. Let's go into the revenue operations so you can understand. When we say rev ops or we say revenue operations, you understand exactly what we are talking about. So revenue operations is a system that aligns sales, aligns marketing, aligns customer success or customer service and finance into a predictable revenue engine. So it looks into start with sales, which is pipeline and deal execution. Like bringing in more leads to the organization. Then it looks into marketing, which is demand generation, creating that demand so that they can be supply, right? Then creating the demand to meet a supply or creating more supply, more demand so we can have more supply. So it's more about the lead flow. I see someone is also joining us from Lagos. Faida is joining us from Lagos, and she also wants to learn how to add value in a remote environment and how to get a high paying job. Awesome. So, talking still about revenue operations, then we have customer success or we have customer service, depending on what the organization calls it. And customer service is all about the experience, all about retention of the clients, and of course, the expansion of the business. And lastly, we have finance that really deals a lot with the financial system of the organization. So from not accounting now, but finance, which is more about like forecasting, financial analysis, regression analysis, and the rest of things, just to ensure that they can make a right prediction of how the company is going to be doing financially. And we can also embed accounting system into that to ensure that the organization can stay afloat. So now in the circle is where revenue operations actually you know, operate on that. So revenue ops is not just you in being in sales or you being in marketing, you being in finance, or you being in customer success or customer service. It's you understanding how this cycle operates and then being able to move the business from lead or prospecting down to profit. So taking it from demand generation to revenue generation. And please, if you do have any question, always feel free to put it in the comment in the chat so that we can take your question at any time to ensure that we answer all questions. So why do revenue roles, why do a lot of revenue, I won't say revenue roles pay in dollars, but there are a lot of revenue roles out there that will pay you in dollars. So if you in Bavard, we train people to become virtual sales assistant just so that they can get themselves positioned even remotely while in your local country while you have, but being able to work with other organizations, work with foreign organizations that will pay you in dollars. So from pipeline generations to deal management, of course, customer retention and revenue reporting are what we will train you on that will then help you become indispensable in any organization. And that is exactly what is going to earn you more money. So let's look into the 5 daily revenue tasks that companies, foreign companies, outsource. So this is exactly the cash cow that we've been talking about. So the first one is CRM management. CRM management. CRM means the clients or customer relationship management. So there's a tool which some people use Excel, but some people also use multiple. So if you know CRM, can let me know in the chat in the comment section what kind of CRM you've used before in the past. But CRM is usually a system, is usually a tool and app. Awesome. I can see some chat already coming in. A tool that you use to manage a client's lead system. Okay, I see Ventura joining us from Lagos. She also wants to learn something new that will enable her to increase her revenue in the digital world. You're welcome, Ventura. It's nice to meet you. So CRM is a system that you get to use to help with lead management. There are different kind of CRM out there. It's some people use Excel, which is very traditional. Some organizations use Monday.com, some use Jira, some use Software, some use Airtable, some use Hotspot. There's just a lot of CRM out there. If you have used any CRM in the past, put it in the comment section and let us know what your experience was with it. But the second thing that will actually pay you or can help you earn money in dollars is what we call pipeline management. So pipeline management is you understanding how to track leads, how to qualify leads, and how to update stages. Very simple. You sit behind your CRM, you sit behind your system, and all you do is tracking and sharing that no leads fall into a crack. Yesterday in the foundation class, we really talked more about pipeline architecture, and we taught our students how to actually walk through the pipeline. If I don't think any of my students is here, but it's something that you can learn that will help you earn more money in dollars, earn more money in foreign hard currency. Number 3 is revenue reporting. Do you know how to analyze data? Those are some of the questions that you need to answer yourself. Do you know how to build dashboard that executive will actually rely on? Do you know how to build a reporting system that is accurate enough that will sell? So those are some of the skill sets that you need to learn if you want to earn more money, in hard currency, in dollars and pounds. These are tasks that organization actually pay more money for, add money for, just to ensure that it helps with the revenue generation. Number 4 is customer success, which is client onboarding. They want to pay, they outsource the staff to people who know how to create an absolutely great experience with customers relationship. That is why you see a lot of organizations, they have their customer service roles out there from US. You see them in Indian, in Asian countries, third world countries, because it's cost effective, but they do pay very good money in dollars or in pounds and stuff like that. And number 4 is also still in data analytics, which is revenue analytics. Revenue analytics is a course that we teach in our advanced VSA course, and we break down different analytics that you actually track. You teach you how to then use this to build your reporting structure, to build dashboard. So you track CSC, you track different kind of metrics just to ensure that the organization can then see how they are doing. So we're going to look deeply into each of the steps. We're going to look deeply into each of these steps to just, so that you can understand how it's been how it operates. Number one is CRM. That's the biggest tax the organization pay for. And I like to say that CRM is the central nervous system, just like our brain, of any revenue operations. So when you have a dirty data, or you have a data, you have duplicate data, you have unclean data, you have fragmented data, your entire or the organization entire sales engine is broken down. So if organization CRM is broken, their revenue cannot increase. Their revenue, I like to use the word their revenue is blind. It's just like someone whose brain is not working, it becomes paralyzed. The revenue is totally paralyzed. So, but as a Rev Ops, like as a VSA, your job is to just ensure one thing: data integrity. You ensure workflow automation. You ensure that there's a clean reporting or lead pipeline inside this platform. You could be Hotspot, it could be Salesforce, it could be Airtable, it could be Zoho, it could be whatever, Money.com, Jira, whatever the organization is. We train you on multiple organizations. If you are working with us as a VSA, we connect you with clients. We train you in the tool that client actually use. So we don't leave you blind when working with any organization. And that's the important thing of you joining the working with us as a VSA, or joining or going through our training program as a VSA. And that is the biggest thing, is the number one thing that every foreign organization pay for. They pay dollars, they pay a lot of money for. Even right here in Nigeria, they pay a lot of money just to ensure that their CRM, some organizations still use Excel, but they ensure that their CRM management system or tool is hygiene, is working properly, is well oiled. Number two is pipeline management. The truth is that in our pipeline architecture class, there's a lot more that you learn. You learn the seven system of building out a pipeline. But let's look into pipeline management, which means you already know pipeline architecture. But in pipeline management, you learn how to track deals. You learn how to track deals. So this is where you get the operational leverage. You learn how to track deals. So if you know how to track deals, you know how to follow up on still deals, you know how to update the deals status. Oh my God, you become indispensable in any organization. You become indispensable to any foreign founders, because that is exactly where their revenue comes in. Number three is revenue reporting. We talked about dashboarding earlier. You understanding how to actually build a reporting system. You understand how to build the dashboard. Is it the weekly dashboard? Is it the monthly dashboard? Quarterly dashboard, and of course annual dashboard. And that is another way you become indispensable. So out of these five tags, if you just become an expert in one, you want to go through the tech track, or you want to go through the operation track, or you want to go through the sales track, you become indispensable in any way, any manner. But if you can master these five skills, the revenue reporting is even very more interesting, because we teach you not just how to analyze data itself, but also how to analyze revenue data, sales data, marketing data, and which is the cash cow of any organization. So from weekly sales dashboard to conversion rate, you understand the stage by stage conversion metrics, so you can see where there's leakage, to even revenue per representative, which means you sit even above the representative, because you can then track how each sales rep or how each VSA is actually performing, and we can use that to identify coaching opportunities. As this is very much advanced, because we teach this to advanced VSA, but in the strategy session. But you understanding it keeps you even more indispensable, increases your value in any organization. And the fourth one is forecast versus actual. So you being able to forecast for the organization, revenue forecast, and actually also give them what the virtual is, so they can see where or what breaks or mars their revenue operations. Number four Number four is the customer success. You probably have of the word customer success or clients onboarding support. This is where the deal has been closed and the client has been onboarded or the client has been activated. You now sit in between this. So onboarding or coordinating the onboarding is very, very critical. Just like in any organization, when HR does onboarding for you, it actually determines if that employee is going to be successful or not. The same thing also in an organization when they are onboarding clients. The way they onboard it will determine if that contract, if that relationship is going to be successful, is going to be a long-time relationship or it's just going to be a short-term relationship. And we go through from proposal tracking to the contract follow-up to payments tracking and of course delivery and off to the sales team. And there's a lot more that you need to be an expert in this area because without it, there could be a lot of turnover with the customers. And the last one is revenue analytics. Oh, revenue analytics and reporting structure is the work hand in hand. There's a lot of revenue reporting, there's a lot of analytics that you do in the reporting, but it's not just before you get to the reporting, there's a lot you have to do with analytics first. There's a lot you have to do with the analytics first. And there are four, so there are four major analytics that every founder are interested in. The first is the CSA, which is the customer acquisition cost. They want to know what's the total spend. They want to know how much am I spending to acquire one customer? How much am I spending to acquire 10 customers? So that they can then use that to forecast how much will I need to spend to acquire 1,000 customers, to acquire 100,000 customers, and that is what makes this more powerful. The second one is lifetime value. Lifetime value is talking about the total revenue a customer has generated over that sales cycle. So now I onboarded a customer for a product of $3,000 per month, and this customer stayed with me for 12 months. What's the lifetime value for $3,000 per month times 12? That's the data. That's the information that you. So if you can know all this information, you begin to think, you begin to act, you begin to perform in a more strategic level rather than you just being a tax operator managing calendars. And that's what makes you as a VSA more powerful. Number three is monthly recurring revenue. We call it MRR. So monthly recurring revenue. So for a customer that was onboarded on $3,000 a month, you know that for the next 12 months, which is the life cycle of that contract, you will continue to receive $3,000 from this customer. So it becomes a predictable income. So you'll be able to calculate that. You'll be able to tell your founder, this is the MRR that we have for the next 12 months, makes you more powerful. And the fourth one is what we call the retention rate. So for retention rate, we're looking at the percentage of the customer who stays with the organization for a lifetime or who stays in the organization for a particular period, depending on how much you want to calculate the retention rate. And all these are just few of the analytics that we track in revenue operations. But if you know how to do this, oh my God, you begin to speak the language of global founders, not just local ones, not just let's see how it goes, not just, oh, I think this is what I'm selling. I'm not even the price is 2,000 today, the next thing is a different price, but you talk the language of global founders. I'm just going to I'm going to pause here to see if anyone has any questions before we continue. Does anyone have any question? Okay, if you don't have any questions, say fire. You can put it, in the comment section. Okay, I see a fire coming in. If you don't have any questions, say fire. Oh, I see a question coming in. Can I be able to see the video on YouTube or WhatsApp? Oh yes, definitely. We will share this with this has been recorded and it's live, so we share this with you on the WhatsApp group if you're in the VSA community, or if you're on YouTube, you can also go into or search for Bavad Insights, and you will see the group, you'll see the recording definitely. Do have a nice evening, Victoria. Okay, I see some fire coming in. Let's see if you have any other question before we go into what actually even makes you billable. That's not all. It's not just about understanding what to do. It's about now you getting yourself positioned to do what you need to do. Awesome. So let's look into some of the tools that will then make you billable in dollars. The very first one is that CRM that we talked about. You getting to know the different CRM tools that organization use. Most of the favorite one, is Hotspot, is Salesforce, Salesforce, Monday.com, Jira, Confluence, Airtable, Software, go high level. There's just a lot of tools the organization use as CRM, customer relationship management, to manage their customer relationship. But we will teach you. We'll teach you a lot around the. We'll start with the common ones, and if we get to connect you, you get onboarded into our system, and we connect you with a client, and they use a different CRM. We would, as we are onboarding the clients, we also onboard you. We train you. We train you on the tool that they are using. Apart from even you going through the client onboarding system itself. The number two is communication tools. A lot of you don't even check your emails. That's one of the biggest challenges that I faced. That a lot of you don't even check your emails. So we will teach you on communication, how to actually communicate with clients, how to interact with clients, how to interact with prospects. We'll teach you the different tools that you would also use to interact. Is it Zoom? Is it Slack? Is it Microsoft Teams? Is it Google Workspace? We will teach you different communication tools. The third one is productivity. We'll train you on how to manage your time, on how to use your time, on how to ensure that you are productive in everything you do. Different productivity tools from Microsoft 365, the entire suite, or even Google suite, different productivity tools, project management tools. Asana is there. We will train you on that. Then the fourth one is automation. Oh, this one is a big one. I won't break that down today. But we'll also teach you on how to automate workflows from Lemlist to Walaxy to Sales Flow to just what's this called? Apollo, just things that you can use to automate the processes. So even Microsoft Dynamics 365, we will train you depending on what the client is. We train you with a common one. Those are some of the tools that make you billable. If you know how to use this, you become indispensable. Because global organizations do not train remote operators. They hire them because they already know the system. And that is where Bavad comes in, because we train you to ensure that you are excellent and you excel in the role. So now, the most important thing now is even not even about the talent now. It's not about I can do this. It's not about I'm available to do this. It's about competency. It's about competency, because at the end of the day, availability is just a commodity. People work in different time zones. A lot of people out there, they're doing appointment setting, they're doing virtual assistant, they're doing what's this other thing called sales support, SDR, a lot of things. But you see, it's not just about the fluency or the talent of the tool or of you in the role. It's more about credibility. That's where your core value comes in. And credibility is what would then give you that contract. And when you get a contract, of course, you get the freedom that you need. Because when you get the contract, you can live that lifestyle that you're actually looking at. So when founders evaluate candidates. They're not just asking like, can you answer mails? Can you track leads? They're asking questions like, can you build a hotspot pipeline from scratch? Can you pull a forecast report from from Salesforce or Salesflow? They are asking you, can you build an automation from Make? They're asking you questions that that are not simple, but will break you to your core if you do not know what you're saying. So now let's look more into how to position yourself for international clients. I'm going to give you this for free, because at the end of the day, these are things that we pay for. These are things that we work for. These are things that people pay us for. But we'll give you this for fun. We'll give you just four ways that you can position yourself for international client. Number one is, you're not a casual virtual assistant. The way you position yourself, the way you call yourself, you're not a tax executor. You are a virtual sales associate, or you are a rev ops operator, and that is exactly what organizations are searching for. So you position yourself as a revenue operator and not a virtual assistant. That's what makes VSA, virtual sales assistant, different from virtual assistant. Number two is, you're not just a support. Not just a support, but you are a revenue operation support. And that's exactly what increases the value from being a VA to being a VSA, because it tells clients that you understand how a business makes money. You tell clients that you understand how revenue is being generated. If you're going to work with us, we'll help you with your LinkedIn profiling to ensure that you're well positioned for international clients. I work at Bavad as a Bavad virtual sales assistant, in brackets, Rev Ops. Tell me, organizations, recruiters will start looking for you. And that is also why we also manage that relationship to ensure that you're not just being pushed to a place, but you are being curated and connected to the marketplace, which has both the founders and, of course, other VSAs that are already in the system. Number three is, we show dashboard, not testimonial. It's not about I can do this. Yes, we blow our trumpet when we win. Yes, we do that. But rather, we show pipeline that you've built. We show reports you've delivered. You show systems you've configured, and that's what makes it so different. And the fourth one is, you speak in metrics. You speak in the language that founders actually understand. Oh, I improved the pipeline by 235%. They want to see that. We're going to go, if you go through our strategies or the development track, we'll do a 21 days challenge where you develop pipelines, you develop systems, and we'll start positioning that on LinkedIn. And let me see if founders are not going to reach out to you, because we will work with you to ensure that it's not just about you coming to class to come learn on how to build a pipeline or how to talk to founders. We also show you how to show results without showing you results. So numbers, at the end of the day, you can see that numbers are the language. It's the language of business, and we'll teach you how to speak that language. So there is this particular one that I just like to talk about, the identity shift. We talk about it a lot in our foundation class, because that's the very first thing. Because when you will also teach you how to outreach, and when you go to the outreach, you don't go about saying, I help with tax. You tell them, I help generate more money. Yes, I will help you generate more money. I will help you protect your revenue. I will help you accelerate your revenue engine. And do you know what? At that time, they want to listen to you. At that time, they want to see exactly how, and you get that attention span that is needed. And that is where the opportunity is. So let's look into where some of the places that we get opportunities that we connect in our marketplace. From the US, which we target the series A to C, not D, which is a reason, because at that time they're already scaling into an enterprise, to Canadian SME, that is small, medium-sized businesses. We're also looking into UK digital agencies, so service businesses that need a pipeline management, and of course, African founders, diaspora founders, that are expanding. Either they're expanding in Africa for diaspora, or African founders that are expanding globally. And these are the people that we work with. So you can see definitely that revenue support is universal. So now, before I go into why people fail, I'm going to stop sharing my screen one more time. I'm going to ask you, is there anyone that have a question? Because I want to ensure that everyone is following, and if you do have a question, we can take that question quickly. Does anyone have any question at this time? Okay, so also we can definitely continue. In the next 15 minutes, I'm just going to go through quickly into the VSA pipeline. We're going to go more into the VSA pipeline just to ensure that. Okay. So quickly we'll go into the VSA pipeline just so that you understand exactly how it works. So what does we were talking about? Oh, I think I see a chart. Okay, so you got a smartphone, always okay for me to learn and be good to go, or do I need a laptop? We'll always encourage that you have a laptop because if you want to build, we want to teach you how to build pipelines, we want to teach you how to build dashboard. You cannot do that on your phone. So which is why we always recommend that you have a laptop. But if you don't have a laptop, you can still go through the foundation class to see how you want to go about it. But I'll say the best way for you is to have the laptop, or you have a PC. So let's look into what Bavard VSA does. We've been talking about Bavard VSA for a while now. So let's see. So I'll say it's a structured training. Yes, it's also a placement program. We designed it for ambitious professionals that we train ourselves, then connect them with global opportunities, competitive revenue operating opportunities. So we don't just come here to teach you skills, we help you build a career in rev ops, in revenue operations. So we teach you so you understand the revenue system, you know how to use the tools, you know how to communicate like an operator, and of course, you can do the job because you're certified, you have the portfolio, and you, of course, you also have the direct access to the marketplace. So that's what the Bavard VSA does. So let me just walk you through our pathway quickly so that way you can know when we're talking about the program, you can look into what's the best for me. The very first one is the foundation. Yeah, we look more into the fundamentals. The 2 weeks program, we look into the fundamentals. We just teach you the fundamentals, revenue fundamentals, our understanding the CRM, basics of the CRM, some of the operational vocabulary like the lead management, the lead data hygiene, qualifying leads. We just teach you some of the vocabulary and of course how to communicate professionally as a VSA. But that's just like you're testing waters. I want to know if this is the best for me. We do that. The second one is the practitioner. This is where it really gets serious. The practitioner one will teach you all these tools. It teach you all the revenue tools that we can teach as much as possible. We help you so you understand not just pipeline architecture, but also how to manage how to build the pipeline. We also begin to look more into the reporting dashboard itself and some real life simulations. The specialist is getting advanced. There you begin to learn AI automation. You begin to learn sequencing. You begin to learn outreach, how to actually outreach. Then the fourth one is the strategist one. And this one comes with sales leadership. I intentionally did not include it here, but it comes with sales leadership. Will teach you how to actually become a sales leader, or it's for people who are already in the industry and want to upskill on their sales leadership. And the practitioner, the specialist, and the strategist give you access to that marketplace because it comes with a certification, it comes with profile optimization. We do interview prep with you, we connect you with founders just to ensure that you are successful in the industry. So now let's see who this is actually built for. So who is the Bavad VSA for? Oh yes, as a recent graduate, you're welcome. Professional seeking high-paying jobs, you're welcome. Career switchers, people that want to change their jobs, you're welcome. And even people already in the industry, like experienced fellow, you are also welcome. You are also welcome. So at the end of the day, the VSA is for everyone. In as much you're interested in earning more money, then I'll say you're welcome. Oh, okay. Let's see what's going on here. Okay. If you can still see my screen, let me know because I can only see a white screen now. Okay, so now the next question now is how can I get started? How can I get started? Because that would be the biggest question that I'm expecting everyone to be asking now. Is how can I get, okay, I see a question here. Okay, thank you, thank you. Before we even go into how can I get started, I think there's something that I missed here. So let's just go back quickly. Yeah, because I know we missed something. So how can I get started? Awesome. So I'll say for you, since you say you are a novice, we have a developmental track, which is what if you don't even know anything, like, oh, I don't know anything. The developmental track is usually the best way. And we're limiting this to like 50 participants because we do not compromise on quality. We have two cohorts currently going on, but if it's something you're interested in, like, oh, I still want to join this cohort, yes, it's available because we prioritize seriousness, we train for placement, and we protect our own reputation. We protect our brand name, and that's the only way we can do it. And the only way we can do that is to impact quality in every of our VSA or people that come into the VSA. If you're asking questions around how can I get started, this is your next step. The very first thing you want to do if you don't know anything is you can either go apply for the foundation program or you just know that I am ready to go through this and I want to go and I'm committed to go through this. So two ways to get started. One is the foundation program, which is I want to see if this is good for me, or the development track, which is I am ready to commit to this. It's going to be a 6-month training. I'm ready to commit to this from the beginning to the end to ensure that I have what it takes to succeed and earn more money. So how can you get started? The very first thing is to apply for a track. So either you want to apply for the foundation, which is very simple, which is very cheap. It's 10,000 naira. It's very affordable, cost effective, 10,000 naira. Or you say, I am committed to go through this program, the full program, which is the developmental track, and that's going to cost you 30,000 naira monthly for 6 months. So it's a 180,000 naira training program, but we would just say you pay monthly so that it can be affordable for you. That's the next step. The developmental tracks gives you more rigor. The foundation class introduces you to our system. That's the difference. And you don't get access to the talent marketplace except you go through the foundation, the developmental track, because the foundation only introduces you to some of the concept. But after the foundation class, you can then upgrade to either the practitioner or the specialist. And if you are interested, we're going to put the link onto the for the foundation. We're going to put the link in the chat. It's fellowships.bavardgroup.com. The Access VSA is for our client, but we also want you to see it so that you can see exactly what client actually pay for. And what we need from you to actually get started, we would like to see your current resume, or if you have a LinkedIn page, because we're working on that from you. Probably also, go to the system, apply. That's going to be your statement of intent. You register, you you register online, you pay the fee, and you would let you know when the next cohort is starting next month, so that you can be part of that cohort. So let's just open up our words for Q&A and see if there are more questions coming up. And I want to ensure that I'm checking the YouTube page. Awesome. Oh, yes, thank you very much. I'm just going to have the link again so that you can just click on it quickly. So it is fellowships. That's Harvard Group. .com. Awesome. So when you click on that, it takes you to the page, which I can definitely open for you so that you can see. And if you interesting. Fellowship. Oh, yes, I missed something. That's Bavad Group. So let's ensure that that is correct. Let me just edit this quickly. There is a G missing here. So that you can ensure that you have the right. Awesome. So I just made it quite easy. So if you click on Get Started Now, click on Get Started Now to the Bavad VSA Fellowship is going to take you to the right page. I have the screen. I have it showing on my screen. I'm very sure it's showing on my screen right now. The right page is showing. Let me close this. Let's go back to the screen. Awesome. So that way you can really see how to become a certified virtual sales assistant with Bavad. If you come to apply now, you can click on that. And if you apply now, if you register now for the development track, I'm going to give you a 10% discount. If you are registering now, you go to apply now, you go to development track, you click on learn now. I'm going to give you a 10% discount, which is we're taking 3,000 naira. You only get to pay 27,000 naira a month. Every month, I'm giving you a 10% discount. So if you register now, a 10% discount over 180,000 is taking away 18,000 naira from this course. So if you apply now, you get that. So you can go to the enroll now for the development track. You click on enroll now. When you click on that, you see how to get started. You complete the registration form, take a screenshot and send it to this WhatsApp so you can get your own discount. This is the amount, this is the platform you pay, but you need to send a screenshot for us to say, I have registered. I registered for the development track, and then we will give you the code for you to pay. So if you are paying via bank transfer, you can just pay your 27,000 naira per month, or 100 and let's do a quick math now. So 180,000 minus 18,000 if you decide to pay in full. I have another class coming up. So that's going to be 162,000. If you decide to pay in full, you can proceed with the bank. But if you would be using a Stripe account, or you'll be using other platform, you need to reach out to us to get a discount code. So if you're paying now, you get 10% because you were on this call. So let's open up the floor for any question. If you have any question, in the comment section and I will answer your question right now. So any questions, some of the favorite questions or some of the frequent questions that we've always had about how long is the stage, how does day-to-day even look like, what tools should I learn first, what's the realistic starting rate? Those are some of the questions that we do get, and I'm going to answer the question just in case you have questions. So if you have questions, you can put it in the chat, or you can even unmute and ask live. That's fine. But some of the questions that we've always asked, that we've always received, is like, what does day to day look like? We have our classes weekend just to ensure that it doesn't interrupt with your daily activities or your other activities, and we go through the different curriculum that we have set, and we give assignment. So your day-to-day might look different. What tools should you learn first? We will determine what tools you learn first, because we will first teach you some of the common tools that are used before we then proceed into some specific tools depending on the clients that we're connecting you. A little about the VSA program. How long is each stage? Well, it depends on what you want to go for. Like, for instance, the foundation, which is I'm just testing waters, you would do it for 2 weeks. For which means you have classes for 2 weeks. Sometimes we give a week so that you can do the assignment and ensure that you understand the system before you go into the next week. For the practitioner, it's a 4 weeks. For specialists, it's 6 weeks. For strategists, it's 8 weeks. But for strategies, you have to have at least 5 years of working experience before you can register for the strategies. For the developmental program, it's 6 months. So 6 months, 12 weeks training within 6 months, because that's more rigorous. And we have this for those who tell you, I don't know anything about the business world. I've never had a structured business work. And we ensure that we train you to the standard. When you're coming out with full excellency. What's the time commitment? Our trainings range from 2 hours to 4 hours, depending on the curriculum that we are treating. Is it self-paced? No, it is live. It's a live masterclass. It's a live training. It's not the one that I will do today or I'll come back to it. Yes, we record it. We'll share the link with our student, but we would prefer that our students are all in the live class so that you can ask your questions accordingly. And what are the realistic starting rates? And how soon can I get my first client? So realistic starting rate depends on the client, and also depends on if we connect you with one client or we connect you with multiple clients, and that is absolutely on you. It's because it's performance based. Our rates by range between, if it's through the access program, you're earning from $200 up to $2,000, depending on the client you're working with. And how soon can I get your first class? Your first client, that's based on you. That is why we work with you. We work with you to ensure that you're strategically positioned in the market. Yes, we'll do our best to connect you. We'll do our best to train you with prepare you for interviews and guarantee success, but at the same time you also have to put in the effort. This is not a get quick scheme. We ensure that you go through the rigor because we want to ensure the quality. A little about the marketplace, how our operators matched with companies. So we are the one that get the clients, right? And we connect the VSAs with the client. You would have access to the marketplace. Well, yes, because we'll post your profiles, they will see your profiles. Then you can also see if we have a client coming in. I think only the VSA leads actually see that, but we'll have conversations to let you know that we have a client and you fit into the portfolio of what they are looking for. Then you go through the interview, but you need to stand out. But we will train you because we give to you that quality. And what industry hire most? We focus more on service industry, like the financial services, the legal services, coaching, consultants, fintech, healthcare. So the industries really vary. So we're not limited by certain industry. The only industry that we would not connect you with is the public sector. Okay, so we've already talked about. I've given you some of my final words, and Okay, maybe in case you just want to see some of my final words, I'll say the revenue. I already said that multiple times. Revenue is the language of global businesses. You need to understand revenue operations so that you stop asking for work. I think that's the biggest thing. So you start being, you become the one that is actually needed. So you don't settle for less, you don't settle for a moment because you make the moment. So our operators live anywhere from Lagos to Accra to Nairobi to even South Africa. So depending on this, the bill is the same, the rate is the same as someone who can be sitting anywhere in the world, because we ensure that we give out that quality and we give out that access that you need to succeed. And here is the key. You have to be ready. I think that's the most important thing. You need the training. You need the training. That's the most important thing. You need the training. You need the tools. You need the framework. You need the credibility. And you can only get that with Bavad VSA. So if you're ready to be needed globally, your next step is Bavad VSA. This is some of the final words that I will always tell everyone. And I really love to read that to you today. So you get to start your operations, your Rev operations journey today. You come here to learn, to build, and to earn. This is the way for you to go on, but only if you act on it now. You have the 10% to the rest of the day. I'll say it's open to 12 a.m., 11:59 to be precise. You have it. All you need to do is either pay the money directly to the bank account. So that would be 27,000 if you're going for the development track. 27,000. But if you're going for the full program, it's 162,000. You want to pay at once, 162,000. That's the discount that we're giving to you. And you want to send us a screenshot that you have registered. Let's just open it up and see if there is any other question coming up. Any other question? I'm going to stop sharing my screen now. Do you have any question? Any question? Any question? Any question? Okay, if you don't have any question, tell me, how was this for you today? One word, describe it. How was this for you today in one word? How was this session for you today? Was it fire? Was it motivating? Was it elevating? Was it informational? Tell me in one word, how was this for you today? I believe that our time is, we're 8 minutes past. It was what? It was phenomenal. It was great. It was enlightening. Tell me, how was this for you today? It was motivating. It was wonderful. It was enlightening. Awesome. So I see Farida is asking a question. What if I want to go for the foundation program just to see how it goes? Will I still have access to the discounts if I decide to go higher? Okay. So if you pay for the foundation program today, we can make the discount available when you want to uh, upgrade. I think that's what I'm going to do. So if you pay for the foundation program today, you can then have access to that discount. But you need to pay for it today. The foundation doesn't come with a discount. You have to pay the 10,000 because we make it very affordable. But if you want to go for the development track, which has more dues, which has more rigor, and you get to have that success, the access, we work with you. There is a mentorship cycle. There is the strategic positioning. It comes with we can make that discount affordable for you at that time, but you have to register for the foundation today. Awesome. Let's see if we have any other question. Goodness. Tomiwa, Tolu, Samuel, is there any other question from the team before we do call it a day today? Let me check on YouTube and my Instagram and Facebook to see if I'm not missing anything. Okay. Awesome. Okay, I can see that people say it's wonderful, it's educating, it's enlightening, it's informative. Awesome, awesome. It's motivating. Great job. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. 10% discount is still on. You just need to take the registration, send a screenshot to the team. Let's put the team number there so you can send it to +1 763 327 4091. So that's going to be the Bavard Group WhatsApp number. You can also send to vsa@bavardgroup.com for any questions or concerns that you have. Awesome, awesome. It's great to have you here. Thank you for joining us today. We look forward to seeing you in the program. It's very much, the discount is very much still available. We still make it available to 11:59 today. 11:59 today. You send you take, you register, you send a screenshot. We give you a discount code if you're paying through any other method or payment structure. But if you're paying directly to the bank, you use our principal partner, our payment partner, like Zimmery Legal Practice, and you send us a screenshot of the payment so we can add you to the group. We can add you to the cohort, and you can get your career as a rev up started. It's an amazing time with you today, and I want to say God bless you. Enjoy the rest of your day.